But yeah, this is the high school lecture for anyone watching the recording. And pretty much what I was saying before I forgot to start recording was essentially that this is gonna be like a Q&A and about high school as a primary topic since that's what's relevant. And essentially we're gonna cover all the bases behind why or how to survive high school. That's already been done to death on the server as it is. There's like three lectures on it, one by syntax, one by me, one by I don't know, someone else done it at least once, but or at least three times in total. Like it's been done to death. But essentially, this is a very relevant topic that needs to be revisited as more people come onto the server, as newer people join up, and just as a fact, the vast majority of the server is in high school, so it's pretty topical. I don't know for the people who are just here. I just repeated what I said like for the second time, but that was all for the recording, by the way, because I wasn't recording by that point. But yeah, is someone making notes on the lecture? If someone wants to, but I don't really, cause just watch the thing and take notes as you can. But I know a lot of people don't have the time. But usually someone always does, and they can DM me the finished notes, and I'll post them in the lecture notes chat. But yeah, how to get invited to parties? Well, it depends who you hang around with, and it depends if you're seen as the weirdo, the guy who's like, no, so you're not. It depends on your place in the social hierarchy, for lack of a better word or term, and if you're seen as popular, if you're seen as cool, if you know people who are organizing the party, that's one of the best ways to get into it. But I say the best, that like guaranteed ways, you're the one who wants to be doing the organizing. And Hamza has gone in depth about this in one of his older videos where he said, be the initiator, be the organizer, be the guy getting all the numbers, be the guy putting down the date, putting down the hard commitments. And then people are going to follow, people are going to vibe around you. Everything's going to circulate around you, and you're going to have the most power in, I guess, the high school social hierarchy. Well, questions in chat, or we be able. I want to bring people up, yeah, because we rarely do that. I'll be bringing people up to share their stories. But if you dare go on a tangent, if you dare like go off topic, I'm just gonna boot you off because we have too much of that. People like giving their life stories and stuff. That's why we stopped doing it for the longest time. But yeah, the relevance of what you'll learn in high school. I'll tell you right now, isn't it the second year? I guess it's 1.5 years technically that I've been out of high school, and I'll tell you 95% of everything I accumulated, all the knowledge has just left me because, well, yeah, you'd be like, oh, business, you're going to be using that, or maths, you use that every day, but this is like shit you'd know even if you didn't study these subjects. And then you have a lot of stuff like biology. Yeah, that's good. I know what the fuck calories are. I know what protein is. I know this stuff that I still use. But then you have stuff like history. And it's good to know about your history of your past. It helps a lot, especially in this space where we're looking to learn from our ancestors, from people back in the day, because there's a lot of value to be extrapolated from, I guess, ancient times, and there's a lot of tradition that has sadly been forgotten but can be re-implemented. So having a good understanding of history is also good just for common knowledge as well, geography as well. But at the end of the day, like every single day, do I go about talking about what happened and the freedom, what's that thing, or the civil rights movement in America? Do I go about talking about that? Yeah, it was topical during the BLM stuff, but even the people protesting there, barely know they barely know shit about what happened there because you don't bring it up as often as you think you would, and that goes for a lot of different topics. Just dig into your history book, dig into your geography book, dig into any like subject that you're sitting, and realize that a lot of the stuff is like, unless you're specializing, you're going into a specific niche, you're not gonna utilize it as much as you think you would. So yeah, and for the record, learning languages in school is probably the worst way you can ever learn a language. So don't expect too much to come out of that. I don't know if you're doing any extra languages like English, of course. Whatever language is the primary language, like yeah, you become better. You'll know how to interpret. You'll learn words and you'll improve your vocabulary and stuff. But trying to learn a fresh language like in school is the worst way you can go about doing it. So keep in mind it's a waste and don't do it ever because I learned the hard way that it's dog shit. What are the actual best AP classes to take? I don't know what AP is. I'm not American, even though I use the term high school. It's secondary school here in Ireland, but like high school is the term everybody knows. So for the most part, yeah. AP classes, like what elaborate. And how do you prep for the SAT? I assume that's the equivalent to like your final high school exam. So I'd say leading up to that, you'd have like what Christmas exams, like some random midterm and Easter or some shit. You'd have exams there, but don't put too much emphasis on, oh my god, my Christmas exams are flunks. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna just capitulate when I get to the real thing, because that mentality will just drag you down. And I'd say it's someone like me. I had that experience when I was going into my Irish Leaving Cert, which I assume is the equivalent to a CAT exam, the like last exam you do before you go into uni slash college. And well, my experience with that was just it was hard. And going up to it, everything was saying, "Oh, he's gonna flunk, he's gonna fail, he's not gonna get enough, he's not gonna get good enough points." Because really, you don't even need like the points. The points are just like as a way to give priority for whatever course you're applying to in college or uni, and to show that well you're competent or something. I don't know, but like I fucked up in December Christmas exams. I was fucking up in the run up, but I knuckled down hard in the last like 4 months, and I was grinding my ass off. And this is what I can tell you the most. Like, just take a step back from all the bullshit. Like, turn off your phone, get off Discord, get off whatever community that's just wasting your time, and commit fully for like the last 4 months just to get your high school diploma or whatever equivalent it is. Because without that, you're good luck finding like anybody who's gonna take you seriously, because you're just gonna look like an uneducated beast who has no credibility and who can't even like, bro, if you can't even pass like a basic English or maths exam, like, bro, L. Like, I know everyone's like anti-education, become an entrepreneur, online income type grind set, but like the baseline for all of the, or the baseline for I guess high school for the education system is at least pass. And if you do that, yeah, you don't wonder, don't think about anything anymore, unless you're trying to like specialize or go into a specific industry like engineering. You pretty much have to go to university for that, or I'd say computer science, but now you don't really. It depends. Like, that's vague. Like saying engineering, like what type of engineering? Saying computer science is like what, software developer, web dev, stuff like that. You have to find out as early as possible. Like, forget about all the bullshit about getting. Obviously, pass. Keep on top of your grades, but I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I say this a lot of times. But finding your purpose, finding like what you want to do, like looking forward ahead in life, and instead of thinking only like what next month or next year, start writing intricate 10 year, 5 year, 3 year plans, and pinpoint exactly what niche you want to go into, pinpoint exactly what skills you want to develop, and pinpoint exactly how you're going to meet your set goals. So that's definitely the best thing I can give you in terms of advice for the guy who asked about CAT. It's much more than that. That's like, I assume that's coming up relatively soon for you, but you should be thinking past that. And just general advice: study, 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 and yeah, that's pretty much it. You should be able to cover it. Like, studying a smart way as well, which is exam questions, which you probably have, or some sort of equivalent, because it's different for every country. Um, your username, bro. It's not even relevant. Stop. I got into a school for learning German, and we have spent 3 hours learning, and they want to study at home as well. I have no time for friends, learning, or anything else important. Is there anything I can do? Yeah, I this is for learning German, or just like an extra like thing. Yeah, it's like how you can get into extra like smart people school to, or grinds, or like tutoring. Yeah, tutoring is like the universal term for that. That shit drains time, and I'm not even messing. Like, bro, I used to do that, and I had no time for anything else. You find it tough, you find it difficult. I'm telling you 100%. But in terms of freeing up time for yourself, I'd say you'd rather just focus on it, and I assume you're paying a lot of money for it as well. If it's not like free, like if it's free, you can fuck around. If you're paying for it, you want to get on top of it as soon as possible. Make sure you get all the work done, but leverage your time effectively, manage your time effectively, because yeah, well, you just have to realize that you're not gonna be able to go out every day to hang out with your friends. You're gonna have to keep it scarce, and whatever like side hustle you're trying to do, whatever like interest you're trying to do, it can, I guess it can alterate depending on like exam time. Like if you're doing all of this during an exam period, then you're gonna have to sacrifice the going out to meet friends. You're gonna have to sacrifice like doing sports, going to training. That's what I done whenever I was in an exam season. Like I'd miss, oh bro, the cold's kicking in. Goddamn, I'd miss training sessions. I'd miss competitions because well, the exams were taking priority, right? So that's what I put into it. You have to just be smart with how you do it. Props to you for hosting when I'm not ready to sleep. Yeah, I was gonna be earlier, but yeah, bro, I had to do hair stuff, so that took a lot of my time. And ping me over asking the questions, cause bro, it's so hard to like distinguish between the like non-pings and the actual pings. When you're finished high school, what do you do afterwards? That's for you to figure out. Or what did I do? Yeah, I went over. Oh, I think you're asking me. I thought you were like speaking generally. Yeah, I went over to the UK for uni for 1 year, studying computer science. It didn't work out, so I came back to Ireland, and then I'm just working full time till next year, till I'll pick up psychology, which I have a heavy interest in. I'm trying to get into that space. I'm trying to get into that area and learn more when it comes to, I guess, how the mind works. And I'll be doing YouTube content on that as well because, well, I was already doing a lot. I was already doing a lot of like introspective YouTube content when it came to that, but like it was on a surface level. So I might as well study something that has some connection to what I already do. But with computer science, it didn't have any connection at all. It's just all you big money, and I use computers a lot, so I guess I start coding now, and that did not work out. And that's my recommendation to anybody. If they're in high school, they're about to pick whatever subject they're going to specialize in, whatever course, college, university. You want to make sure you actually have interest in it. You want to make sure that it is the thing that aligns with you instead of just, but don't fuck tell just tell your parents to fuck off if they're giving you parental pressure, because that shit is awful. And like, you know yourself best, you know yourself the best, you know what your interest where your interests lie. Don't fall into, especially we have very traditional parents, like my parents are black, your parents are Indian, if they're like Asian, or if they're African. If you know, but they're gonna be like, get your doctor's degree, do your master's immediately afterwards, because that's all they know, right? I'm not even gonna say that you should hate them for it. It's essentially the traditional way to be successful, quote unquote, and that's not how stuff should work for you, because a lot of the time, like, yeah, what aligns with you, you want to become a doctor and your parents really want you to become a doctor, then you're living in the ideal situation. But for most people, it's not like that. So follow your heart, follow your passion, and ideally or hopefully you find like you can get into a course or into some area that it doesn't even have to be formal education. You can just find the thing that works for you and follow it to your heart's content. But the best way to do that is just to be introspective. Start journaling, start staring at your wall, especially like just turn off your screen, turn off the mindless consumption, turn off your monkey brain, turn off your amygdala, and start getting to work with what you want to do with your life. Because I don't want to put that pressure on anybody, especially kids. But like, time's running out, time is finite. Like you don't have an unlimited amount of it. So start using it wisely. Start thinking ahead and start planning things out more intricately. Yeah, I think I made that pretty good. How many points you got in your leaving cert? I won 410, bro. I got a H2 for like any of the Irish people here. I got a H2 in history through predicted grades, and I didn't even sit my exam because it was the COVID things. And a H2 is like 80%, and higher level. Higher level is essentially like you get extra points for like university sitting and all that shit. But yeah, that's how it went. Oh, but it scrolled me up. What the fuck? Oh, I'm back. how did you deal with a lot of people that are manipulative teachers, etc.? Like you just learn to like focus on your goal and just like I guess zone them out, like zone out of all that bullshit. Because I went in as one of those kids who's a troublemaker. I was like picking fights with the teachers. I was like being annoying with them. I was intentionally trying to antagonize them, and it didn't get me far. Or well, it did. It did. No, it didn't. It just made my life difficult, right? And so you get the cheap laugh out of it. You get your friends laughing at you. I don't know. Impress the girls somehow. I don't. That's what people say when they do it, and that's what I was saying as well. But no, it does not work like that. So yeah, it's a waste of time. Just even if you have a bad teacher, like endure, and that's why I tell people all the time. Until you get more freedom, until you get a job, until you start making money, until you start having more control of your life, you just need to endure a lot of the bullshit. And there's not going to be any secret code. There's not going to be any life hacks to it. You just have to coexist with them while looking ahead to your future, while using whatever ounce of control you have and putting it to work. And that can be through getting better grades, so you have a better decision on what you want to study in the future, spending your time effectively at home, building side hustles, researching, educating yourself instead of mindlessly consuming. So it's pretty much up to you to take these to make the most of what you have in order to get to what you want where you want to be, because you're not going to have complete control, especially if you live under your parents. You're going to school on a daily basis and you can't support yourself whatsoever. You just have to be smart with the tools you have available to yourself and use them effectively. What do you think the most essential subject to actually focus on in high school? I'd say it depends what you're studying and how much it aligns with whatever you want to do. So for me, it probably would have been. Was there even a good subject that aligned with psychology? I don't even fucking know. But yeah, if it's maths, you get on top of maths if you're going into computer science, because you think, oh, it's just coding, it's easy computer time, ha ha ha. But nah, you're going to be using a lot of maths, and my maths was like average, it was like okay, and that fucked me over when I was doing um, CS because I was just stupid and I didn't know too much. Like my maths, I let my math skills or like my maths abilities and capabilities dwindle, and I was stupid. So get on top of what. Look ahead. Like stop being like so okay. And what's coming up next week? I'm going to have some fun this week. Like nah. Start looking ahead. Okay, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, 5 months from now, and see what's your plan, what's your end game. Like identify instantly before you're even in your last year of high school. I want you to already know what university you're going to go into. Well, not for sure because you're going to have to pick choices, so have like a good handful, like at least five different avenues or different areas that you can plan effectively to go down. So let's say, oh, I have these three universities in mind. I want to become an engineer, but if that doesn't work out, I'm going to have a apprenticeship backup, and if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna be working on a YouTube side hustle where I discuss different components and parts for, I don't know, general machines or cars or something like that. Something smart, something planned out. Like have five different, I guess, fail safes in case one of them fails. Then you have four more to fall back on. So start thinking ahead, because yeah, not a lot of people do that, and they end up tripping up on themselves. And pretty much, yeah. Going back to the initial question, which was just like what subject you should focus on the most, whichever one I guess aligns with what you want to do in life, and there's going to be at least one. But usually, it's usually just school fluff that's not going to do you much good. So yeah, take that as you will. If it's a science subject, then it's pretty pivotal. Even if you're like a normie, like generally speaking, I'd say it'd be a science subject that you want to get on top of. On top of like biology, isn't physics like its own thing? Well, in Ireland it is. Yeah, physics, chemistry, one of the three, and get efficient with that. Is integrating a good university a good idea to? Yeah, it is definitely. If you want to meet people, that's the main draw of university these days. Because we have the internet. Who gives a fuck about your degree these days? If you can prove or you can put together and bolster a portfolio to show that you're capable, then people will hire you. The degree isn't even the main draw of university. So I'd say meeting people is. If you have the capabilities, if you have the chance, the opportunity to go to university, then take it. If you don't want to, then that's fine as well. Bro, my voice doesn't usually sound like this, bro. I'm just tired. I'm drained. I usually have the deep Irish accent, or the Dubliner accent, like you can hear now. But I don't really just put this on. Kind of fickles in, But yeah. How do I balance my education and self improvement? Yeah, this is a big one that I should have probably opened up with. So self improvement, it depends. Like, you all want your self improvement. Everyone here wants their self improvement to funnel into their purpose in some shape or form. But of course, keeping on top of your habits is hard. Getting the time to journal, meditate, exercise is what exercise is the hardest part to fit in because, well, school eats a lot of time, especially on weekdays. So an effective substitute that I can like recommend to anybody who's like struggling to get exercise in or just get that ticked off as a part of their self improvement on a weekday, on a school day when it's busy. Essentially, you want to sign up for extracurricular activities relating to sport and make sure it's a sport you have interest in. Or this can be just like an outside of school club because chances are you're not going to have enough time to go home, get to the gym, and even if you do, you're going to be down on time that you would normally need to put into studying. It's just about smart time management, and it's difficult. That's the hardest part. Like the meditation, yeah, you can fit that in somehow. To journaling as well, learning too. That's also hard because you you can't count studying for in school as learning or studying a subject as learning, but ideally the learning you'd want to get done is learning for whatever your like end goal is. Like say you're, I don't know, a footballer and you're trying to learn different skills, you're trying to learn different tactical approaches. That's what you constitute as learning, but you barely have any time for that because school is down on your neck. You have all the crazy fucking assignments due, you have exams coming up, it's tough. But I'd say the cheat code is to optimize your weekends effectively, and that's very like that's the best or like the most amount of time that you're gonna have free. Those 2 days, you can use those 2 days to like, I don't know, work part time, or you can use it to work on your purpose. But those 2 days, you must treat them like as if it's treasure, as if it's gold, because that time is incompensatable. I don't just use that word. Like, it's very valuable is what I'm trying to get at. And if you waste that time, if you spend it jacking off, you spend it watching some 4 hour movie for no reason, if you spend it oversleeping in bed, then you're not gonna get it back. And once you get to the next weekday, you're barely gonna have any time. You're gonna be behind. You're gonna not be on top of whatever things you want to focus on. And well, yeah, the weekend is your best friend. Use that time effectively. Use whatever time you have effectively. Time management is essentially the most important skill you'll ever have while you're in education, because a lot of it gets sapped. Like, just you say, oh, you have 24 hours in a day. Chalk off like, I don't know, 8 to 10 for education during the average like school day or weekday, and now you have, let's say, 14 hours left to work with. Chop off another 7 or 8 for sleep. Now you have 7 hours to spend, and you can put some deficit on that with commute times if you have to commute, and then you have 6 hours, 5 hours of raw time that you can effectively use to get work done. And make sure you use that sacred amount of time to just get anything productive done. Make it your priority, and realize that just have the spatial awareness, or just in general the awareness to realize, oh, I'm scrolling on my phone while I have time to be researching about my next business opportunity, to be planning for my next competition in judo, or my next football match, my next basketball match, the trip I'm going to go out with my friends or my girlfriend. Start thinking more like that instead of, oh, mindless consumption, scrolls for 8 hours a day and waste all your free time. So yeah, that was a long, very convoluted rant, but I think you get the point. Like, optimize your time, and that probably covers a large scope of questions I've been asked as well. Because a lot of people are like, self improvement, barely any time. Better time management is your friend. Look up videos. I don't have any videos on hand, but just literally type in how to better manage my time into Google or YouTube, and you're gonna get a plethora of information and advice on that will go into a lot more detail. I want to become an athlete after high school. So what do I do? Is there a school for athletes or something? Well, it depends what sport you're doing, and it depends if you can pick up a scholarship or not. Like, if it's football, yeah, you're gonna get yourself into an academy, and you're gonna be like set up real good. And if it's like track and field, your university might sponsor you, and the scholarship might go a far way. But you want to start like researching in advance. I'd say look into like of course you want to be like at a high competitive level to even get a scholarship, but start looking into your university, and usually it's something you can apply for. You have to fill out this lengthy ass form and stuff, but it depends on the sport ultimately. Like if it's a football academy, then you're not even going to university. You're gonna be doing your own thing. Or it's like track and field, yeah, you'd be studying while you're competing at the same time. It just depends. And all the people, how do you develop social skills around brain dead people? Yeah, you all know people are, oh, they're TikTok scrolling. Whenever you're talking, you want to have a deep conversation, they're scrolling, looking down at their phone. I guess it depends on the people you're hanging around. If it's brain dead people, like socializing with them, it's not even gonna be too hard, bro. Like, what? Simple. You look them in the eye and the basic bullshit where you talk about whatever it is. But if you want to open a conversation, be like this is the best place to do it, especially in school, because everyone has that common ground. You're in school, you probably hate the class you're learning about, you hate the subject you're studying, and yeah, you can have that share. You can have that in common and start off the conversation. Just say, "Oh, you hate this class too," and the guy's like, "Yeah," and then just go from there. Like it's not rocket science. Just you look around at the tools you can work with and use them effectively. But if it's like these are people you don't want to become like too close friends or too closely attached with because you know they're brain dead. But if it's someone you've been friends with for a long time, it's been years. You want to get them onto self improvement. You want to just start slowly drip feeding them a lot of beneficial self improvement stuff because that's how it happened with my best friend. Like I remember, bro. Like I can even go back like 6, 7 years. We're just wasting around, and for our first year of high school, like we're talking shit at the back of the class, we're messing around, we're playing games on our phone, and we're not getting much done. We're not thinking ahead. I didn't even know what the fuck self improvement was, and yeah, fast forward to today, we're making plans. Like he's interested in self improvement. He's about to sign a contract as a professional footballer. I'm grinding on my own stuff. Like we're looking forward to the future, and that was who you would consider a brain dead person, my friend. But eventually, we started like talking about, oh, what do you want to do in the future? Like, you're fed up with like this bullshit, right? You're fed up with being broke. You're fed up with not having the ability to just walk out of this class and go to your fucking mansion. So we started thinking ahead, and that's a common ground for all people. They like even the most average person you can ever find. They want to be rich. They want more opportunities. They want more chances. They want more freedom, and that's the hook that you can use to pull them into self improvement. And how are they gonna acquire this freedom? How are they gonna acquire this wealth? Well, by doing these habits first of all to build up their mental health, and by instead replacing their bad habits with good ones, such as educating themselves on how to make more money, consuming content that's going to inspire them to do more and not to be lazy bums. And it just kicked off from there. And then just going back to me and my friend, my best friend, we're fucking planning to go to Japan next year, next summer, for a fucking holiday. Like it'll be a fucking full ass business holiday where we're gonna plan together. We're gonna work on stuff, go a place that we've always wanted to go, and yeah, stuff starts changing. The more you're just committed, the more that you start thinking past a lot of the I guess stigma that's in the self improvement community because you look at brain dead people and you see them as subhuman, you see them as trash. But if you can just, I guess, pander to their curiosity by showing them self improvement, you can change them pretty quickly. Especially if you're not stuck up, especially if you don't have an ego. It's not too hard to get them to join them or to make them join this community, to make them join this way of life, and just make them show or to show them that, yeah, bad habits wasting time scrolling on your phone on TikTok is harmful to you because you have to realize that they're just a product of their circumstance. This is pretty much all they've known. They're probably given an iPad at 6 years old and they've just been staring at it for a long time. It's probably been the same with you as well. So you have to start looking past that, start thinking, or start putting yourself in their shoes and thinking in a more I guess, intelligent way of how to handle things. And eventually, who knows, the generous sitting next to you in class could be your best friend 5 years down the line. Or if you slowly just give him the hope that, yeah, things can get better if you join this amazing way of life that is self improvement. So yeah, that pretty much tops off that gigantic ass. Bro, I just do things in big ass rambles, and I don't know if people are learning. I'm gonna go all the way down to the chat to see the response, because I'm reading off questions that are fucking old as hell because people put so many questions. But yeah, I got like 50 pings just from me before, like just as I started this lecture. That's crazy. Time management thing. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's helpful. Yeah. Have you talked about girls and socials in general? Oh yeah, I'll cover that now. That's a pretty good one. So I'd say girls, um, or whatever you're into. I don't know. I don't want to be make assumptions, but that's gonna be like it's gonna come, and especially that age in high school, it's gonna be like the time where it's happening. Everyone's horny, even the girls, the guys. Everyone wants to get it on, and it depends on what you value. Like I don't know you, whoever, or most of the people here. Like I know like what two people probably. Like I'm on good terms maybe with a lot of people, but it depends on you. Like if you're religious, of course you're not gonna have any premarital sex because it's haram. If you're looking, or if you're on your grind set, you don't want to be partying, you don't want to be a degenerate, you don't want to be doing drugs. You're not gonna want to go into it. But a lot of people have the curiosity; they want to experience it. They want to say, "Yeah, I want to go to the parties. I want to have sex with the hot bitch in the class. I want to do this. I want to do that." But after you've done it, you're like, "What did I gain from this? Well, benefits that I extrapolate from this experience, and it wasn't so grandiose as you thought it was." And that's for a lot of people. After they've fed the curiosity, once it's gone, once it's satiated, once it's satisfied, there's not much left after that, and then you're just left meaningless. You're left purposeless. So even before you think about, oh, girls, like I want you to get your mind onto this, and that's get on. I hate saying it because it's so overdone, but get on your purpose, get on your grind, get on what you're working towards, and if the opportunity comes, it's up to you to take it, because I don't know your morals as a person. It's up to you to make that judgment. If you deem it as a moral, just ignore. If you just want to fucking get a knot off, then you make that decision, because a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I say it's bad," so all of you who are listening have to believe what I think as well. But I'm not in that position to give you the final call. Like in the moment, you might think something different, and that's for you. Because imagine if my life was like that. Like I had loads of these moments, and like if my influence was like influenced by someone as it like Hamza. Like for a lot of you guys, it probably is. Like he's the guy that you're trying to, I guess, emulate, and whatever advice he says, that's what you're trying to implement. But I didn't have that when I was growing up. I just made decisions pretty snappy. I didn't think things through. But for better or for worse, you have that choice now. You have the better judgment. You have the guys saying, or the guys who have experienced it, like Hamza, are saying it's not worth it. But for you, you might deem it's worth it. You might deem it's not. That's a decision that you have to make. And in terms of socials, I can say stay away from the drama. Like you're probably gonna use them because they're beneficial. They keep you social, like it's in the name, and you can plan a lot of stuff to go outside with, and that's a thing that a lot of people are depraved of. They lack a lot of just like social outings that I guess boost their social skills, boost their social awareness, boost everything about them. They make you happy, they make you positive, they give you something to look forward to. But avoid the drama, because it's very easy to get into the wrong crowd to piss some people off, and then before you know it, you have like 30 guys lining up outside your front door ready to bash your head in because you threatened to take one of their girls. So you want to be smart with what you're saying, you want to be smart with how you handle it. And in terms of like the addiction, the instant gratification shit, don't be scrolling, of course. Even I catch myself, bro. Twitter is like the bane of my existence, bro. Like I'm trying to get myself out of all the fucking politics. It's not even like brain dead shit. It's not like TikTok. It's not girls twerking, bro. Nah. But I fell into the rabbit hole of the bullshit of politics. Oh my god. Right wing versus left wing. All this bullshit. Like it's inconsequential to you. It doesn't change the fact that you live under your parents. It doesn't change the fact that you have no money in your bank account. It amounts to nothing. So keep your, I guess, engagement and interest off of that, and focus on fixing your life first. So yeah, that's how I'd say you should handle girls and socials as well. Bro, I'm always out of breath every time I got to the end of a sentence, bro. God damn. But yeah, um Social do's and don'ts in high school. I'd say get into a friend group as soon as possible, and like I mean, have a handful of like five people to have your back because it's gonna reduce the chances of you getting bullied. It's gonna make sure you have people to fall back on, especially like let's say you have no lunch money, you have no way of getting home, you're fucked in all areas or some shit. You have people trying to beat your ass up. Like you're gonna get hopped after school. Like you want to have people who have your back, and the lone wolf mentality, the lone wolf lifestyle in high school is just gonna make your life hell. So I highly recommend you just do not do that at all. And I don't know who people who advocate for that. They're crazy because you're gonna get fucked up. Or you're just by yourself. You have nobody to rely on. You have nobody to fall back onto, and your mental health is gonna just get destroyed as well. Like I don't know how the hell you can just go in, be the ghost at the back of the classroom, leave, and nobody knows you. You're just going here for the sake of waking up the next day, and you're not having any positive interactions whatsoever. So yeah, you want to be, and I say the don'ts. Um, uh, how would I say it? I guess the hardcore, degenerate activities, like use your brain. Like a lot of people, or a lot of people in my high school, yeah, definitely a lot of people. They try to do like stupid shit, like oh let's fucking smash a school window, or let's I don't know egg the teacher's car, and like if you get caught, you're gonna get like a fucking, or let's shoplift in the store. Yeah, that's like the meta when I was growing up. Like don't be fucking falling into shit like that, shoplifting. Like bro, you don't want a fucking criminal record early on in life. Like be smart about things. Don't fall into the peer pressure would be like the biggest don't, and that covers a lot of the don'ts when it comes to being social in high school. And I guess don't steal another guy's girl as well, because that's like, bro, I don't know. It's like going to the Nether in Minecraft and hitting a zombie pigman, and you know what happens after next, bro. Like 50 fucking guys come and destroy your ass. So be smart about it, all right. That's the best one I can say. That's all I can say about that. Bro, I have so much. Like, I have like actual stories and stuff. But I don't want to share too much of that. That's the real. You never know, bro. You never know. I'm still not safe from the 50 guys hopping my ass and destroying me because I stole their girl or chatted shit behind their back. So I'm not gonna fucking say too much. Well, yeah. What tips would you give students that lack social skills due to mental disorders? Yeah, I'd say um how did I get out of that? Yeah, because for the longest of time, I thought I was autistic. I thought I was stupid. I thought I was like just dumb as fuck. But I was getting into people who had similar interests with me, and I started slowly. I started like in class. I just well, oh, you watch Pokemon, you play Pokemon too. Okay, now we're friends now. We have something in common that we can talk about. It's very easy. It's very safe, and it's a very easy barrier of entry. Like it's not super hard. It's not like cold approaching some random person you've never even met because you have the interest. You mutually know each other because you're in the same class, and that's the best way to go about it. Or finding extracurricular activities as well because you're all there because you have some semblance of interest in the topic that the extracurricular activity is about. Making it easy for yourself is the best way. And another thing would be developing something that took away the like that takes away the crutches of you, and those crutches are like the disability or the disorder, and that could be through like a sport or through some skill that you cultivate, some ability that you can train, that you can develop, and that's what people know you for. I don't know, it could be playing on the guitar, it can be you're such a good football player, you've won so many accolades, you've won a lot of medals, you've performed in this concert as a guitar artist or player, and people know you for that. Develop that skill, people garner interest about you, they'd want to approach you, and it takes a lot of the load off of you because instead of you approaching them, they're going to be the ones approaching you out of genuine curiosity. And yeah, it'll just snowball from there because you have something that you're well versed in to talk about to them, instead of you just in being out of your familiar waters, out of your familiarity, if that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So you want it to be things that you talk about. You want to develop different skills, different abilities that give you more, I guess, tools to work with. That's that analogy I'm always going to use. Like the more tools you have to work with in a social situation, the better it's going to be for you. The more easier it's going to be compared to if you're just like a blank slate, like all you do is play Minecraft for 9 hours a day, and all you can do is talk about Minecraft. Yeah, it might work out for you, but you're pretty one dimensional, And to the majority of people, you're not going to come off as interesting, intriguing. You're not going to be able to hold up a conversation. So you just want to put yourself out there as well. Put yourself out there more, and be in more social situations. Have small talk with, I don't know, the cashier, with your barber, with whoever it is, because the more practice you get in, the more easier it's going to become. And I know it's harder with a lot of things like autism. You're going to struggle a lot. You're going to feel ostracized by some people who even know you have the condition, but it can still be circumvented by your just raw effort, your raw ability to develop, to push back the stigma, to push back the difficulty that that condition places on you. So it's just about commitment, it's just about hard work and diversifying yourself. And that can be done through the ways that I outlined prior. Do you know how to find a girlfriend in school if there's 30 male or more female? You're fucked, bro. Start looking outside the school. And especially, I hate dating in classes as well, because, like, oh, she's in the same class as you, you break up, then it's gonna be a rough time. Let's just say that. So, yeah, I do not recommend classroom on classroom dating. I've done a lot of classroom on classroom flirting, but no actual commitment, bro. Like, nah, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Video games in high school. Yeah, depends on you, bro. If you see it as a waste of time, you could see it as, I always use it as a tool, and like this tool has always worked out for me. Cause damn, I play games. I'm knowledgeable about content creation. I'm knowledgeable about this anime. More leverage for me to work with in social situations, and it goes to testament. Cause bro, I went literally, was it last month or 2 months ago when I was in the UK? Like I found this. I went to my uni's Discord server, right? And apparently we just had a streamer there who's like, yeah, I think he left the uni like 2 years ago or so, but like he's still in the Discord server, and like saw, oh, he has 100K followers on Twitch, and he streams League of Legends, and I was just like, hey bro, do you want to just go out for drinks and have some fun and stuff, and I can discuss content creation with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And people be like, oh, instant gratification none can come from it. You're a coomer. Oh my god, League of Legends, you're fat, you're obese. Nah, bro, we had a cool last time. We went to a nightclub, we had some fun, and yeah, that's what happened. Cause well, you stop thinking one dimensionally and you stop being spoon fed, I guess, other people's experiences, and start using your own intuition to go about with things. That's how I done it, instead of just being, oh my god, it's gaming and it's equals automatically bad, and I just dismiss it immediately instead of seeing what positives I can extract from it. So yeah, I'd say gaming, like just in general in high school, is probably a waste of time, especially if you're fucking playing Call of Duty while you have your finals coming up next week. You're an idiot. Like, bro, it doesn't even a hardcore gamer would fucking say that to you. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, come on, get on top of things. But if you're gonna use it to be more social, if you're gonna be use it to join extracurricular activities, then that's the best way to go about it. And you're gonna have fun. You're gonna make friends, and you're gonna have another tool to work with. That's how I use a lot of the stuff that I call my hobbies, I call my interests. I see them as tools because I can use them in social situations, I can befriend people easier, and it's more stuff to work with. Discuss Snapchat. I feel the app has become borderline necessity. It is, and for school communication, and perhaps some tips on how to use a tool for communication. Not a bad habit, will help some. So yeah, Snapchat. I was in Snapchat. I was in a lot of groups. I used it a lot when I was in high school. People are like, oh, even Hamza. I remember what he said. He's like, oh, if you have Snapchat installed on your phone, do not. What did he say? It's like, don't beat me, don't shake my hand. I lost respect for you, something like that. But for a lot of the younger demographic, that tool's like it's essential. It's a necessity. If you want to friend people, you want to have nice discussions. If you want to get invited to any parties, to any events, to any social outings, you need Snapchat. And stop scroll, bro. I don't know how the fuck you even scroll on Snapchat, bro. There's too many ads. I'm like, fuck this app, bro. And there's too many degenerate shit, bro. Like the scrolling page where you see people's stories, like scrolling down into that. Nah, that app, bro. It's actually like the worst, I guess, viewer. I don't even know the term, but like it's such a bad way to. I don't know how people get hooked on that. You shouldn't anyway. But onto the left side where you have all the chats and stuff, yeah, like if you're interested in the person, if you see a girl you like, after the conversation, be like, hey, you want my Snapchat? It's easy to do. It's easy to get in, and a lot of people are willing to do that. If you say, yeah, I want to talk more about the stuff later on, do you have a Snapchat? and then they just lend it to you. I still use it now, bro. Like I still use it for the people I work with. I just be like, oh yeah, like I like chatting with you. I like discussing with you. Want to discuss more? Like here's my Snapchat, and they're most likely gonna say yes because it's not like oh my god number type it out or you made a wrong mistake. You literally scan the little like code and then you're in. They have you added. So use it wisely, use it smartly. When it comes to nudes and stuff, well, that's up to you, bro. I don't know the fuck you. I don't tell you what to do with your body, bro. If you want to be sending nudes, I don't know. Go ahead. Don't be an idiot, of course. Don't leak your shit. Be smart about it. Be able to deal with the repercussions of your actions. So, yeah, that's the biggest, I guess, meta game for Snapchat. It's the news. It's the fucking all that weird shit. I done it a bit. I was like, nah, it's too weird for me, so dropped out of it. So, yeah, be smart about how you use it, pretty much. Why do people, including me, hold anger and resentment to BS high school events like accusations, cheating, lying, fighting, losing, no social success, stress, betrayal? What can students and graduates do to heal? Well, realize these people, like, how many of the people do I knew in high school do I talk to? Like, there's my best friend, there's like two other guys, and that's it. After that, it's like none of them because I guess you're probably never gonna see these people ever again unless you have them on Snapchat. Like, I see their stories all the time, see them on my Instagram, but like it's not deep conversations. I don't know them well enough to hold any grudges or to hold any ill will against them. And I just realized that they're just a small stepping stone in the grander journey that is my life. So you have to have that broad scope and realize it. Look at it in that way and realize that yeah, this is small stuff. It's not too deep. The fights that we had, there are a lot of fucking fights I had. Like even most of the guys I even fought, they're my friends now. Like we fucking made amends. We healed stuff. We stopped fighting each other, and I befriended a lot of them because we learned to look past how meaningless a lot of this stuff really was, and it didn't do too much at all. And these people, the majority of them, you're probably never gonna see ever again. So you shouldn't be thinking too deeply about it. I know it's harder for a lot of people, especially if I guess it cuts deep. Like I don't know, you had a harsh breakup or you had a fight that fucking humiliated you, and you can't stop thinking about it. But you just have to start looking to the future and realize these moments do not define you. Like you like the teachers aren't gonna whip out the camera recordings of your fight in high school 6 years ago and start watching it for entertainment. Like this stuff gets buried. All of the fucking little notes they take or like discipline forms that they write down into your folder, bro, that shit's gonna get buried under like 5,000 pages worth of folders and files. Like no one's ever gonna look at that ever again. So stop thinking that high school's the end all and be all, especially with exams. Like it's tough when your parents are giving you shit, but just have the not the humility, but just have the perseverance to withstand a lot of those negative thoughts, a lot of those negative emotions, a lot of the bite back that you may get from, I don't know, your parents, your old high school friends. It varies, but it's something that you can definitely withstand. Yeah, yeah. Who the fuck wants to come up on stage, bro? I'm tired. Nobody, it seems. Oh, they changed the way the app works. Yeah, it looks so fucking weird, man. Yeah, raise a hand, somebody, please. How can I stop being in background in class? I'm bad at talking to people, and people only ever want to talk to copy my answers. I'm a smart kid in class with the dumb generic kids, and it's torturous. So you want to leverage your, I guess, your asset, and that's the best way to do it. Like you hold the power, you hold the leverage in the situation, you hold the leverage in the relationship with these people. And obviously, they're just like dumbasses who like you just do not want to be friends with. Ignore them. And if they're like good, like with some of them you want to like get into their group, you want to start hanging out with them, like you want to step up your game, step up your social skills, start cracking jokes with them because they're not going to be able to relate with you if you're just like the distant nerd who's like above them. They're just going to see you as, oh, he's like the XP farm for all of our exam needs, for all of the stuff that we need. Like even I was like relatively smart in a few subjects, and people would be coming to me, and a lot of these people knew me well, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, thanks." I don't even say, what am I saying? They'd be like, "Oh yeah, thanks, Agro. You know a lot of this stuff, and you know this and that and the other." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I do." And later on, like I'll just be like, "Yeah, did you get the exams down? What score did you get?" And I'd just have small talk from there and be like, "Oh yeah, I bet my answers helped you well, yeah, didn't they?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, they did." And then we just go on from there. Like you essentially want to be, you want to like lead off from the stuff that you're just giving away information for free, and you're not following up on it, then it's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like you have to start thinking more than that because they're just gonna see you as, oh, this is the guy, this is our answer pinata, bro. He's just gonna give us all of the answers we need, and nothing else is gonna come from it. You wanna just take the like the risk, and it is a risk really, to go out to them and just say, hey, like, can I hang out with you guys, like, or if that's what you want to do. Of course, it depends what you want to do. I have to read the question again because it got pushed down by all the new comments, but yeah, you, I don't know. It depends how I can interpret this question. Like it could be interpreted in two different ways. Like it may seem like to you these degenerate kids are annoying, but I'd see them as an asset, bro. These are people that they see you as they see you not as vulnerable. They see you as someone who has worth, and that worth can elevate you into a higher status. So you want to use that effectively. And I don't be like, oh, withhold the answers from them. But just say like, hey, why do you want to get the answers? Like, start fucking prying more, start asking more questions, and say like, yeah, in exchange for my answers, bro, you have to, I don't know, do something for me, or let's just hang out, and then I'll give you the answers and you get to know them more from then. Or like say, oh yeah, let's do a little study group together and I can teach you a lot of stuff. You'll up your social skills in the process, and they'll get to know you better and they possibly befriend you. So yeah, you want to pretty much see the positives out of every situation. So I just gave you like three different, I guess, alternatives, advice, approaches that you can take when it comes to handling your situation. It's giving answers, not in a test, good or not. It pretty much is good. Like, wow. Of course, if it's mid test, you're, I don't, what the fuck are you doing? But like, if it's, I don't know, casually, it can help like boost, or it can help put you in the good books of a lot of people. Because they're not gonna see you as a teacher's pet. They're not gonna see you as some fucking annoying guy who is stuck up on a nerd who's distant. So we shouldn't give it away for them for free. I do a lot for free, but you want to be just more than a guy who gives people answers for free. Like you want to have your own character, you want to have your own, I guess, complexity that makes them attracted to you. Not in any sexual relationship way, just like they want to hang around you. They see you as someone who's cool and chill. So yeah, you want to be as a guy who's nice, and a lot of people say, "Oh, the nice guy gets no coochie. The nice guy doesn't get treated well." But in this situation, the nice guy thrives because the nice guy is distributing knowledge for free, or sometimes for like light payment in return, and then people are gonna see you as sound, as we call it in Ireland. We call it sound, and we call it art, like sound, bro. That's pretty sound of you. Like they see you as someone who's like willing to, I guess, go out their way to help them, and that puts you in a lot of that puts you in the good books for a lot of people, and they're gonna be willing to do favors for you as well. Are you religious? No, I am not. And why shouldn't you give them? I already answered that. There's one kid in my class that doesn't bring nothing to our class and ruin our reputation. We try to take him talking to him, but he keeps on doing it over and over again. What do you mean, like nothing to your class? Like what? Like food? Answers? Oh, I think you mean generally. Like so, he's just like a waste of space. I don't know. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. That's pretty like dead ended. I don't really understand that, or open ended. That can be interpreted in many different ways. What's your opinion on being stoic in high school? For example, not reacting to anything and not partying and drinking alcohol. You can do it, and there's a good, good degree of people who do it. Like they might not even know what self improvement is, but they're religious, and you can befriend them, and their grades are definitely going to be better than the people who party and drink. So well, we want to prioritize being like the guy who aces all of his exams and on top of everything. Then yeah, you should adopt that stoic mindset, that guy who's focused on going to school for the reason you're actually supposed to be going to school, which is to get good grades and to get into a good university afterwards, or college, or whatever it is. So that is a opportunity, or a possibility that you can go down. Also keep in mind that people are paying. I think, bro, I'm about to end, but no one wants to bulk wrong button. No one wants. Oh, there's people who want to come up onto the stage. I'll let what's his name, Sebastian, come up, and then I'll end because, bro, the endless slew of questions, bro. We'll do another one of these. I don't know, next week whenever I'm off.
Oh.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, so I have question.
Yeah.
And this would apply for a lot of high schoolers here. When would you know the breaking point of knowing when to stop connecting with high school lads, mates who seemed cool when you met them, but after a while, months or years have passed, you still have them like on social media or something like that, but you just feel like, why do I still have these people if, all this time has happened and it just doesn't make sense to keep around? Like, should you test these people to see if you should reconnect with them, or should you just forget about them completely?
Yeah, it depends on if they're having a negative effect just outrightly on your life, or they're just like, oh, it's the guy I call occasionally, but he's not doing too much. He's pretty much just calling to reminisce on the old days, stuff like that. Like that pretty much goes nowhere. But it ultimately depends because a lot of guys I still like keep in contact with, and so yeah, it's a good chat. It doesn't really go too far from there, and there's not really any much fighting. There's not really any much conflict. It's pretty like casual, and it pretty much doesn't detract from like my overall well being. It doesn't like make my life worse or anything. So it's just a good little like small talk kind of thing that you can do. But like, do you see them like IRL? Like, are they close around you? Or, like, do you see them like on the street? Do you like still hang out with them? Like, I don't think you do. Or did you?
No, yeah, you're right. I kind of didn't, but I always think of like
Yeah,
other scenarios in life when I would have, right? Because it's probably gonna happen again with work and something like that, where I'm gonna bump with this guy in the street and I'm gonna be like, should I even like say hi or just pretend like I don't know him anymore? Because it's been like who knows, like 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, and like I mean, it's gonna happen because it's a small world. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And I also feel like, well, what should I do if I interact with people or see people who I didn't like? And I think I've asked this question before, and most people just told me, hey, just do you and forget about them, And if they say something like hi, say hi back. But if they don't do anything back, or if they just pretend like they don't know you, like you do the same, right?
yeah. And it depends how like close the person is as well. If it's just something random, like they're not even in your same, they weren't even in your same class, but you just happened to go to the same school, and it's like, oh, who cares? But like, well, it's someone that you did have like a good relationship with, you talked a lot with. Then yeah, like even I done it when I came back from the UK. I saw one of my friends, and like, I don't know, I was just walking down the street, and she was like pretty much just a few feet in front of me, and I was like, I called her name out, and then we pretty much just started talking about, oh yeah, what are you doing now? And this is what I was doing, and then we had a pretty small conversation. It was casual. It was fun. It didn't negatively impact me in any way. And yeah, we reminisced on what we were doing, or like what we were doing back in the day, and like what we're doing now. And it's not gonna negatively detract from your life in any possible way. But if it's someone like, oh, it's one of your bullies or some random ass guy, they're not gonna do shit on the street, and you don't really have to acknowledge them at all. Like you can have eye contact with them. I know for a lot of people who have had like social issues and like social anxiety, it's tough, but you can definitely get past it.
Gotcha. Do you think it's a Jeffrey move to like use everything to your power with people who doubted you, who belittled you in high school and like thought that you would not go anywhere socially because, you were probably socially awkward back then, or you didn't have the skills, all this YouTube support channels, right, teaching you left and right, not just with women, but like how to talk to people. Do you think it's a Jeffrey move if you find people that you dislike because they belittle you to like show off, or would
Nah,
you think
that's definitely
not a Jeffrey?
not the way to do it. It's just a waste. Like, what do you have to prove? It's like nothing at all. It's like you just say you're grown past this. Like you're mature. You don't even need self improvement to know that. By wow, flexing on people that were once above you, but now you're above them. It's just like a waste of time. It's just a basic human thing. It's like why would you waste your time? So yeah, just go walk past it, move past it, learn to, I guess, hold yourself to higher accountability, held to, or learn to keep yourself at a higher humility. Be, I guess not the guy who's talking shit. Be the guy who's not just looking down on others, who's not condescending, because that just shows off the negative side of self improvement. But you want to be a, I guess, like a prime example a composite of all the good parts of self improvement, and like looking down on people is definitely not the way to go about it. So you can pretty much just, I guess, walk past them. Don't pay them any mind. Don't pay them any heed, and don't see them as something that still has an effect on you because they simply don't.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is like the biggest revenge, even though that's not what we want to do here, is to uh, forget about it and move on.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not worth your interest, not worth your time. It doesn't get you closer to any of your goals, and it's not something that benefits you at all. Like it just gives you a short feel of I guess control of power of accomplishment, but in the grand meaning of things and the when you're looking back on your life, you're not gonna be like, oh, this was a defining moment when I showed up my bullies. So or like a guy who done wronged me and like now I'm look at me now and like it's not something that's worth your attention whatsoever.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. I appreciate all this feedback. My last question to you would be, um, how can I spread self-improvement effectively to my high school brother? He just started, and I think I have already tried to like under the counter, like tell him, hey, there's communities if you ever want to hit the gym or find better friends. But he's like, yeah, yeah, and he just goes back to his room and I don't know, play the video games.
I guess to show the benefits and to show what comes from it, because no one like initially nobody wants to fucking start meditating for long, arduous amounts of time. Nobody wants to start doing all of these difficult habits, replacing their time of leisure, their time of relaxing with a lot of these other habits that they deem as difficult, as they deem as hard. So just skip past all of that and skip to the end result, which is, oh, you can go to any country in the world. You have infinite money. You feel happy. Your social skills are at the top of the world. Like you're the most, like everyone loves you. Everyone wants to talk to you. You're charismatic. You're attractive. You have pride in the way your body looks. Like you have all of these things. How is all of this possible? Or like even you can serve as the guy who is the example. Like after you've progressed in your journey to a certain point, you can say like, yeah, look at me. Like mad strong at the gym. I have all this money. I've accomplished this, that, and the other. And you can do the same if you start doing these habits. You start getting on self improvement. If you start or if you just start and adopt this lifestyle. So definitely you should try to show them first. Like it's gonna seem alien and they're not gonna be able to relate. If you just say, okay, start meditating, start journaling, start reading, read all these books you have no interest in, but somehow expect them to. Like no one's gonna want to do that, and they're just gonna look at you as an annoying person. So you want to drip feed him small bits of
Prove
content.
myself.
Yeah, you want to be very, I guess, slow with it, not rush him into all the manosphere, this, that, and the other, the Matrix, all this crazy extremist stuff. Nah, nah. You want to start off with the your life. You're probably unhappy with your life. You're unhappy that you have to go to school. You're unhappy that you have less than $10 in your bank account. But now you can change that with self improvement and essentially start showing him how and showing him the benefits. Prioritize showing him the benefits because that's what's gonna stand out the most.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all my questions. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty. Bro, man, I'm hungry. I've not eaten. This got derailed because my hair. Bro's hair needs some dedication. He needs some beauty time. So yeah, I don't want to leave, but I'm so hungry, bro. It'd be so weird if I just fucking muted myself for 30 minutes. Cause I'm not gonna eat while I fucking talk. That's so unprofessional, bro. But yeah, that's the end of the how to survive high school. There's a lot of questions, but there's too many. We're gonna do another one. This part one. I'm gonna call it part one when I upload it. There's gonna be part two and whenever I have an off day next, and or like that's on a weekend, and then there's part three or how many parts we need to answer questions, get people up. Well, this one was like or it was interrupted by my hair predicament. So sorry about that, boys. That happens, and yeah, we move, yeah. And be sure to if I even have the link, please have the link, please have the link, please have the link. I do. Be sure to subscribe to the channel in the chat below because well the lectures are gonna be uploaded to them and yeah you're never gonna miss no need for the lectures recorded. we're gonna have two lectures uploaded there today, and possibly more as the months go by, as the weeks go by, and yeah, thanks Sebastian as well. Those questions are very like thought out or very intuitive, and I'm your cult disciple now. So yeah, definitely. And if you want to have more discussions as well, like happily, like I'll send you a friend request as well. We can give you more advice and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. And yeah, I've been saying and yeah, bro. It's like I'm stalling for the 10-minute mark to get monetization on YouTube, bro. Let me stop. Yeah, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, in a real Dubliner accent. Yeah, flat out, bro. Talk to you later. Yeah.